sorry, I have already shared my screen. So now shall we start? Note down each and everything, okay? Try to note it, the all important aspect. So I'll just brief about about trade processing. So yesterday we have discussed about process flow of fund accounting, how your fund accounting works, or what are the different teams. So where they come into picture, so that you can relate. I mean, if you're, let's say, working professional, then you can relate that, right? Where you're working or what type of roles and responsibilities that you're dealing with. So you can relate that, correct? So today, so we're gonna directly touch to the trade processing part. So we'll see how trade processing works, their accounting, even reconciliations as well, trade processing reconciliations and all for let's say options or maybe futures, equity, and their accounting as such. Okay. So when we talk about trade processing, right? So trade processing, if you see that portion or activity scatter into the three main categories. One, as means everybody is familiar with, is like front office, middle office, and back office. Only 2% people they work at front office, because here the main job would be selection of securities, right? So where we directly select the securities and investing part. So it's a selling or buying. But if I talk about from a fund perspective, where fund manager, they sit in front office, they check the market resources. So it means they check the securities or different opportunities, let's say, and then they finally start raising funds from the investor and invest it. Correct. So it means main job or main rule or activities that you would see, like from a front office perspective. So they open multiple demat account or trades account or even bank account. Why? Why? Because they want to purchase securities from the trading account. They want to purchase securities through the different, let's say, commodities, options, or FX, or different accounts. And that's what, when we talk about front office, it means it is a purely selling or buying of securities business, or that you can say in short, investing business, to find security opportunities, to target companies, and then accordingly invest fund into it, right? But once that fund invested, your front office team, they won't be able to focus on that particular again deal, correct? So it means their job is like to buy the securities or purchase the securities, and then send the message or communication to the middle office team. Then your middle office team come into picture, and middle office team actually they communicate with the here buyer and seller, how they work it. First of all, see this. If I draw chart how this front office or middle office teams works and all. Let's say your fund manager is here. Fund manager fund manager will send the order to the interactive prime brokers send the order to the, if it is a listed security, let's say, assume it, if it is a listed security, then order will send to the NSE or maybe BSE or London Stock Exchange, right? Or there are many more. If it is a listed one, then order will send out to the stock exchange. And stock exchange, they have automated system, automated trading system. It's a order driven system. When we say order driven system, it means buyer will access the account, or seller or buyer, whatever it is. If I take the example, let's say this fund manager is at buyer side, buyer side. So it means this fund, let's say assume that this fund manager is looking for Wipro securities, right? Wipro securities. So it means this buyer will drop order with details like quantity, let's say 100, price, let's say 441. When we talk about listed products, you won't be able to see the counterparties. Why? Because it's an automated trading system, right? It's an automated trading system. You can just send the order. Once you send the order, seller also send the same order to the trading system, right? Let's say from a seller perspective, if I talk about, let's assume it, there is a seller. Seller is from XYZ fund. XYZ fund manager is the seller of Wipro securities. Same again, that fund manager will send the order to the interactive prime brokers. Interactive, it means like ICICI Direct or JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, right? The same order it will send out to the stock exchange trading system. Same order. And if you see here, now you can relate. So it means from a buyer side, buyer will send the quotation, and from a seller side also, seller will send the same quotation with quantity, let's say 100, price 441. So this person also will send the order here on NSE. This person also means fund manager. Mm, wow. All right. So this person also will send the order to the stock exchange. So it means once this order received to the stock exchange, it is a responsibility of this ATS, automated trading system, to match the order, match order, and generate order ID or settlement number. So it means this system will provide settlement number to you. Why, sir, settlement number to us? Otherwise, if let's say there is no numbering system, then how will you track your trade? You are sending this, let's say, order, right? You are sending order number one. This guy also sending order number, let's say, order number one. So how will you track that? if there is no settlement number system. And that's what stock exchange, as I said, create settlement number. Settlement number. Let's say 123. Same number if you see here as well. 123. Settlement number 123. So now if you see, if fund managers send, means both the from both the sides, fund managers send the order to the stock exchange and now order got executed. After that, after that, middle office team job come into picture, because front office people, they're only entitled to place the order or buy and sell the securities. That's it. Their responsibility is to buy and sell the securities in the market through broking account. But all that information, where the middle office team, they fetch the data. Middle office team, they fetch the data again. So after here means you would see one more important participants. The name of that participant should be clearing agent here. Clearing agent, because each and every stock exchange, they have their designated body, they have the designated institute where they take care of it all clearing activities. When we say clearing activities, it means including settlement as well. So clearing agent maintain the data, maintain the order information for buyer and seller both, and also establish coordination between, again, buyer and seller. So it means once the trade get executed, post that your clearing agent come into picture. If you ask me, sir, can you please give us name? So who are the clearing agent? If I talk about, let's say, DTC, Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, DTCC, it is this institution works for US market, right? If I talk about, let's say, if I talk about even India, so NSDL and CDSL, so they have their clearing corporations, right? Or if you see NSC, National, Securities Clearing Corporation Limited, that you would see where they take care of all, securities or transaction which is traded on NSE. Bombay Stock Exchange also, they have also their clearing corporation body where they take care of clearing activities. Why? Because trading systems, that data or trading systems, that integration you would see in with the clearing agent platform, because clearing agent capture all information, means security information, trade information, and store it on their platform, right? Clearing agent fetch all data or details and maintain or record or download it on their platform, like let's say DTCC, and they provide access to whom? To the buyer and even seller both. So it means you can access, let's say if you are from buyer side, let's say, then you can access. If you're, let's say, if you're working at a middle office, then you can access the DTCC and check your trades. Check your trades, it means you can check the trades through order number, you can check the trades through security, you can check the trades through order type, let's say buy, sell, whatever it is. You can track orders through settlement number, right? Same activity you would see from a buyer, means buyer and seller side, both, vice versa. And that's what, when we say counterpart, it means for a buyer, seller would be the counterpart. If I let's say now put a real example, let's say here the BlackRock, BlackRock team placed, buy request. So then BlackRock become the buyer here. If I talk about, let's say, IPB, Interactive Prime Brokers or International Prime Brokers, let's say ICICI. right? Now, if I talk about listed securities, let's say equity, we are assuming it's equity, right? Then automated trading system. So as I said, stock exchange, they have their advanced trading system where they match the orders quickly, right? Then now, if I talk about, let's say, clearing agent, let's say DTCC. As I said, here from a buyer, from a seller perspective, also you would see, broker or other participant as well. XYZ fund manager has, let's say, broking relationship with JP Morgan, right? JP Morgan. So now, if you see, if I ask question now to you, like let's say, uh, if you are from a seller side, so who is your counterpart, right? If you are from a seller side, then your counterpart would be
Buyer.
BlackRock, right? Buyer. And if you are at a buyer side, and if I ask this question to you, who would be your counterpart? Then seller. So it means XYZ fund. So that's how counterparties come into picture. And if you see at every fund level, whether it is a private equity, hedge fund, mutual fund, means it could be any fund, that's fine. So you would see where they set up the front office team, they set up the middle office team, and they set up the even back office team as well. And if you see the structure of the trade life cycle under fund, it looks like this. If I talk about, let's say, uh, not GMT fund, let's say BlackRock. Here you would see front office where they take care of buy, sell, and even, in short, I would say investing part. Then second, you would say middle office. So their main job would be cooperation for settlement. Then after signing documents, signing docs, then check the security availability, check the security availability, take care of failed trades, take care of penalties, and even also book the trades, book and settle trades on clearing platform. Book and settle trades on clearing platform. I haven't mentioned about internal accounting system. I have mentioned about clearing platform. Let's say the clearing platform is DTC. Then this team will work on DTC and settled or book the trades on DTC platform. Let's say they are working on Euroclear. Then they will have to book, means middle office team, they will have to book the trades on Euroclear platform. Let's say market, again loan settlement platform. Then they will have to settle the trades on market. right? Because front office team, they work with exchange. They directly work with the exchange. And as I said, exchange then transfer the data on clearing platforms, and then the clearing platforms come into picture. And if you see middle office teams, they take care of all your middle office level activities, where signing of documents, cooperations for a settlement with the counterparts. They actually send the settlement number. I'll show you that how you can check the settlement number, and also where they actually send the settlement number to the let's say buyer or seller accordingly, and ask them to confirm it. Hey, can you match the details? We have captured this and that trade. So that level of conversation you would see, right? And apart from that, as I said, if you see any any indications of failed trades, then you will have to immediately look for an alternative. Let's say alternative means you can communicate with brokers, you can communicate with fund managers, you can communicate with counterparts or any other counterparts if he or she or they are interested to sell or buy the securities from you. So in that way, your means middle office persons or teams role come into picture, because fund manager, they cannot take the follow up on each and every activities, right? Let's say I'm a fund manager, do you think that after trades means let's say execution, I'll reach out to the that counterpart and ask them to transfer the securities and take the confirmations, check the demand account holdings or data, then check the statement, broker statement, funding availability, cash availability? So it would be difficult, right? It would be difficult to the fund managers to ensure everything, and that's what the segregation of roles and responsibilities matter a lot. If your firm size is small, you can means take care of it all the activities on your own. If the fund size, or let's say your activity size is a vast, then you cannot manage all activities on your own, right? So that's what middle office teams come into picture, where they ensure. I'll show you how you can check the availability and all everything, how it looks like. Means I'll show you means with the real data, we'll check it out. But this is how your roles. If you work at a middle office, then your roles and responsibilities come into picture on all these aspects. So now your question would be like, so how can we sign the docs? See, nowadays, so we have a technology, but initially it was a physical documentation required, and that's what if you see the settlement cycle was T plus 8, means traded plus 8 days. Physical documentation now, which is not needed for a securities or even for a loans contract as well. So you can digitally sign the contracts. And when you say digitally sign the contract, so it means at the moment we have a digital platforms. If I talk about DocuSign, if you're looking for an interview, guys, so you can note down all these application names. So you may expect questions like, let's say interviewer can question or the panel can question like, can you please mention the name, where means how you would have manage, or maybe managing documents and all. So DocuSign is a platform where you can digitally sign the agreements, and you can send it out to the uh, you know counterparty. Maybe you can send the emails, then directly you can, after the signing, you can download the document, right, on let's say in your system or desk, and then you can attach the documents to your email. So through Outlook, then you can send it out. So that person can also use DocuSign and sign the documents. Apart from that, DocuSign has a facility where you can send the agreement, means directly you can share that in a link, hyperlink, with the counterpart, so they can also access and sign their documents. And this process, if you see, it is a very faster process. Within a 1 day that you can sign documents and everything, and take the confirmation from bank. Because after this process, when you confirm to your when you confirm, let's say securities are available or everything is available, then you will have to, as a middle office team, you will have to reach out to the fund manager stating that, hey, hi, can you please approval of funding, because fund manager only can initiate fund approval later. In case of buy, where fund approval letter is required, then fund approval letter where that middle office team can confirm, hey, so that now counterparty is ready with the securities, and also we can settle the this particular trade, so can you please make sure that the fund is available in your bank account. So that level of communication or message it will have to send out. When I was a part of middle office team, we used to send emails with the trade details to the fund manager stating that, hey, we are going to settle this particular trade, the counterparty is ready, we are agreed on xyz date, can you please ensure the funding is available in our concerned bank. Then that fund manager draft authorization letter. Authorization, it means fund amount, trade amount, quantity, price, then let's say currency, transaction currency, or any other fees. If you see, fund manager will draft letter to the bank. Sorry, what happened? Fund manager will draft letter to the bank. Bank, it means agent bank or middle. See, every, as I said in a previous session only, we have discussed it. Without bank account, you cannot execute trades. Simple. So it means here, let's say the bank is JP Morgan. If the bank is JP Morgan, then JP Morgan team, they required later authorization later with the signature of fund manager. Without signature, they cannot release the fund. So that later, once they receive later with the proper signature and approval, then your fund managers, that the treasury teams from a bank side, they'll release the fund. So that's how your activities come into picture. That's how your middle office role come into picture. That's how your responsibilities, like you should be very punctual and verify documents on time and ensure, so you have maintained deadlines for each and every transaction. So why this is important, if I now talk about, see, from a front office side, it's a very easy task to just access the account and buy and sell the securities. Even the for a loans also, to check it, the loan details, and again send the request to the broker or custodian or whosoever is managing that pool, and buy this that particular obligation. So it's a very simple process, it's a very plain process. Means before buy, definitely they'll do some research. It's not something like randomly they'll pick up a stock and invest into it. No, they'll check it out. But it's a prejudice or pre process before entering into any obligations. But once they enter, it's a 1 minute job. That's it. Check, update the information, let's say quantity, price, position, fees, or blah blah, and then confirm it out. Done. But post that, whatever that activities which we have seen, so you would see lot of activities that come into picture. Now, if I just give you example, let's say we'll just discuss few examples so that you can relate. Still, we haven't discussed about back office, middle office. You can note it down all this, please. Middle office. Now, let's say if I talk about equity or if I talk about listed products, listed products. Listed, it means it can be options, futures, equity, bonds, and FX. Again, FX, it means future option, same. All right. It could be that. Listed products. If I talk about that, now we have, let's say, bond, we have T plus 2, but Indian market, again, it is a T plus 1. For equity, T plus 1. For a futures, traded plus, yes, traded, or I would say when you want to execute. So you can say T plus expiration date. Expiration date. Same. Traded plus expiration date. Right. FX, daily settlement. Here also you may expect daily settlement, or we have a daily settlement process. Daily settlement. For bonds, T plus 2 is a set. So on a T plus 2 basis, your trades will get settled in the books of account. But if you see, your framework would be around all of this. It's not an easy job. Your job would be to check funding, depends on your side. So whether you are at a buyer side or seller side. If you are at a buyer side, then you should check the funding. If you are at a, let's say, seller side, then to check shares or securities, that you can say. I mean, check the status of that particular securities. Then to sign docs, negotiate on fees, and ensure settlement on time. Here at the time of booking trades through blotters, you would have heard maybe, blotter word. Blotter, it means it's the information. So you can see, trade information or trade related information. So that sheet or that Excel, you can call it as a blotter, trade blotter. So you may see that information where that you need to, directly book. So it means at the time of booking trades, at the time of booking trades, you can directly book that in the system. So it means you can update the settlement date as well. At the same time, you can update settlement date also. Why? Because anyways, we book the trades or under, different system. If you see, we book the trades on T plus 1 day basis. All listed products we book in the fund book on T plus 1 day basis. T plus 1 day basis. Booking process we have where, if let's say any fund manager please trades on Friday, that data I will receive maybe, let's say, overnight, and then Monday morning you can book the trades in the, let's say, a middle office, or maybe middle office system that would be interlinked with the, broker system. So directly you will receive data from the brokers in the your accounting platforms, right? So you can select dashboard and all, and where your job is like just to verify and approve it. But at least I would say, from a back office perspective, where they actually perform accounting, processing, record keeping, reconciliations, they receive data on T plus 1, where they create the records in the books of fund. All right. So if I talk about, let's say, OTC product, when we say OTC, so there would be loans, ABS, MBS, swaps, right? Or it could be any other products as well. So those products comes under OTC. But here if you see, actual documentation is required. So are you guys aware about that, home loan process? Home loan, it means how bank process home loans. Their marketing executive first negotiate with you, right, and convince you for a taking loan from their bank. Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes. Yes,
similarly,
Siri.
you would see with the OTC product, you would see the same, sort of process where, means at the front office you can just confirm, or fund manager confirm with the counterparts as they are, interested in XYZ products. But rest activities, your middle office team, they take care of it. They Here we have, standard documentation process as well. So where you would see like assignment agreement, It's a name of document, right? Assignment agreement. Then trade confirmation. Then your funding letter. Funding letter define about the payment terms. Let's say 1 million, 2 million, half million, right? Then if it is a loans, then maybe you would see interest payment rate, then loan interest payment accrual, let's say accrual date, then loan closing date, repayment date. So you would see all that terms on your agreement. Trade confirmation, it means on trade date, this document that will generate, and counterparties, middle office team, they'll send to each other and confirm. Why? Because if there is no confirmation given to each other, then how they can assure about that settlement as well, right? So that's what they need to first of all confirm about the trade confirmation letter. Once they confirm about trade confirmation letter, it means it's a agreement. It's an agreement that ensure both the counterparts, where both the counterparts are ready to settle the trades, right? Once they sign trade confirmation, once the counterparties agreed with the trade confirmation, then you can say your trades, or that particular trade, or both the counterparts are interested in each other's the deal, or you can say terms, whatever that you can call. And then after, on settlement date, if you see, or before that, or if you see the period between trade date and settlement, that you would see 1 day or 2 day, whatever it is. So during that period, middle office team, they reach out to each other, and then they ensure about assignment agreement. Assignment, it means it's an ownership agreement, securities ownership agreement, where middle office teams, they sign, the fund managers, they sign, with their seal, and then they confirm to each other. And finally, they again, fund manager, sign the funding letter and send that funding letter to the custodian or to the bank. If I talk about, let's say, in a fund business, your custodian manage the cash transactions, then custodian's team receive the letter from the fund manager stating that, so this is the fund amount which you can make the payment to this counterpart or that counterpart. So it means your custodian's treasury teams, they take care of it funding part, and then they provide a confirmation, yes, fund has been disbursed or fund has been received to this XYZ account, please check and confirm. So that level of stuff come into picture. But yeah, so this is how your trade processing, middle office teams, they play crucial role in your trade life cycle, right? So one more change that you would see means, even though with this instrument also you can see like T+2, T+2. Anyways, now industry is moving towards T+1. Even India is planning for hourly settlement. So you may see some advancement in the Indian equity market. But at the moment, for UK and US, they have T+2, T+2 settlement cycle. And for a loans, you would see T+5 and T+7 or 10. 7 or 10 for UK market and 5 for US market. So this is how your middle office teams, come into picture. All right. Any question, guys? Anything that you would like to ask? Any confusion? Come on. Any confusion? Any question? No, yes, yes, no.
I'm good, Sriraj.
Just a question, what happens in terms of fail trade?
What about paid it?
No, the failed trade, the trades fail.
If the trade fails, so there would be three activities. One, so immediately your middle office team, let's say in case of failed trades, middle office team, they'll check first. Check first, it means check with broker, broker for alternative. Right? Check with fund manager. Manager for again alternative. Right? If the, let's say the problem is comes from our side due to XYZ obligations, then fund manager will guide you for a penalty, right? Then any extra fees, charges, because middle office team, see, they cannot directly take the decisions, right? They just act on the failed trades. Simple. So that's what your fund manager plays crucial role. But yes, they'll communicate with fund manager and ask to communicate with the brokers or counterparts and then help them to negotiate on terms. And even fund manager will also provide the status of, let's say, fund manager want that particular trades or not. If let's say fund manager want that trade, then fund manager can reach out to the broker. Broker can again look for auctions. Auction, it means apart from the listed securities, so you would see same securities which are available in auction market as well. So it means uh, people like us, we can participate in auction market, and then broker can help you, means help fund manager to purchase securities from the auction market. If let's say your means fund manager is okay with the cancellation, then directly you can remove the trades. Simple. But what if fund manager want that security? In case of that, then you have other option, as I said, auction market. So you can, means as a middle office team, you can participate in auction market, cooperate or coordinate with the brokers, and ensure that broker has purchased securities for you from the auction market. So this is how you can deal with the failed trades. All right. So now I'll come to the your back office stuff. Back office team. See, your first back office team is trade processing. So they process the trades, right, in the your accounting system. And if you see trade processing teams, they work around few input. Their job is very pretty, straightforward. Quantity, price, counterparty, exchange, trade type, amount, and quantity, price, trade date, and settlement date. That's it. Who is trying to join? So their job is very simple. Let's say quantity is 50. So they check the quantity, price is 50. Then security name also you would see. So I, let's say, stock name. Stock name Eisen. So you would see that. Whatever stock that the fund manager purchases, your job is to create the records. Create the record. It means if it is a purchase trade, then under fund XYZ, let's say fund, check the fund. So that under that fund, you can select the security and then you can create the records with this detail: stock name, ISIN, quantity, price, counterparty, exchange, this amount, and your job is done. Because same data, if you see, fund accounting teams refer it. There is a difference between fund accounting teams and trade processing teams, because this team is liable for processing buy and sell trades in the internal accounting system. Now if you compare this back office team, responsibilities with the middle office, you would see different one, where middle office teams, they book the trades on internal, sorry, clearing system, clearing platform. But your back office team, they book the trades, or they actually record the trades in the internal accounting system. And internal accounting systems, like let's say Geneva, right? It can be, let's say, the other accounting platforms like Aladdin. There are many more. Just an example that I'm giving it to you. So your middle office team is entitled for booking trades on your internal accounting system, not the clear part. But they refer the same details. Means every level, if you see, they refer the same details: stock name, ISIN, quantity, price, CPT, exchange, trade type, amount, trade date, settlement date. They refer the same data and create a records in the books of fund. And as I said, same data, when you book the trade, means with this details, your fund accounting teams, they refer the same records. Why? Because fund accounting teams need that information to prepare journal entries, to prepare trial, to prepare your balance sheet, PNL, or NAV, say, right? So that fund accounting teams, they refer the same data which you have recorded in the internal accounting system. Question would be like, so what if that recorded information in the fund accounting system by trade processing team is not correct? And how that fund accounting team will rectify it? See, fund accounting team, they will not only rely on your information, they'll check the broker statement. They'll check the custodian statement, and the two statements, they'll try to tie with your internal accounting records. The broker system and custodian statement data, if ties with your broker, or let's say internal accounting records, then only fund accounting team refer that same, and create the journal entries in the books of fund. Apart from that, what if, sir, fund accounting team, they check the broker statement and even custodian statement, and post that they realized it, particular XYZ trade got cancelled. But internal accounting, or that, sorry, internal trade processing team, they haven't updated that, cancel trade information in the accounting system. So it means this particular buy trade got cancelled. On statement, you can see it is a cancel, but in the internal, accounting system, the trade processing team, they haven't recorded that as a cancel. Then as a fund accountant, it's your responsibility. You are not only there to post the journal entries, but you are also there to cross verify the records, take the proper confirmation why this particular trade got cancelled, and reach out to the trade processing team and ask them to clear it out. Send the broker statement and custodian statement, and you can draft an email with the text like, hey team, can you please refer broker statement and remove this particular trades from the system, or can you please cancel this particular records? As if you see, there is no difference in, let's say, closing balance or opening balance. There is no impact on any of the let's say accounts or balances, and also it means it's a valid failed trades. Immediately remove this immediately cancel this, particular open trade and confirm to us. So they'll take the action, or sometime you may also take the actions because you're an accountant, so you can also take the proper action. All right. Then your status of the trades that you can update, let's say cancel. So status of the status you can change from active to cancel, so it will cancel then. So this is how your data works, or this is how your middle office or back office teams works. And then after your post your trade processing team, your recon team come into picture. Your recon team come into picture. Post means after the trade processing team, your reconciliation team come into picture. Recon team, how they work it? See, for them, they check one ledger, one statement. Let's say quantity is 50 and price is, let's assume it, price is also 50, right? There would be other details as well, trade date, settlement date, so that you may check. We'll see that in Excel, how it looks like. I'm just giving you the brief here. So how they do. If you see total would be amount 50, 2,500 amount. So if it is, let's say, assume it's a buy trade. If it is a buy trade, it means here, if you see on a bank statement, there would be one outgoing wire. So it means fund will out. If you purchase the security, if you buy the security, then fund will out. So you would see one outgoing wire, or where the fund which has been out from the fund book. Then your job is like, the recon team, or maybe recon team, they can question to you if you see anything as such. So they select the, two records, statement and ledger, and then they match it off. Why? Because they will have to provide approval to it. So it's, if you see now, same trades, same details, your front office team refer it, same details, your middle office team refer it, same details, your back office trade processing team refer it, and same details, your recon team refer it. If you see anything as such, let's say trade got cancelled, so it means then you will not see this outgoing wire if the trade got cancelled. So you would see where the fund is not recorded or projected on the statement, then there would be one cancel entry, right? On a bank, on a broker statement, you would see one cancel entry with the buy trades. So you can also record the same. So it means you can cancel it out. So once you cancel it out, so your records, you would see one is, active record, and another one is cancel record. Means inserted versus deleted, you can say. Inserted, and one, you can ledger, if you see with the buy trade, with the same quantity and price, sorry, 50, but this becomes your deleted one. Same ledger, deleted one, so that you can select and remove it from the records or approve it. So this is how your recon, teams come into picture. Now I'll show you the data, how you can, place the trades and all. Let's say this is your broker account, right? So same account, your fund manager also open it. And if you see, so this function, here they add the funds, allocate the funds. Once you allocate the funds, if you see this one, they have mapped the bank account. Now if you see, we use this account for a trading, right? So I have updated my bank account with this ICICI broker, Axis Bank, which is a different one, ICICI broker, which is a different one. In same way, if you see, where fund manager integrate their bank account with the trading account, because trading account broker offer it, right? Demat account depository offer it. Trading account facility, where here if you see, your broker will offer it. So it means in this case ICICI has offered this, trading account facility to me. Then I'll allocate the funds. Allocate the funds across segment, that is also important. If you don't allocate the funds, first of all, you should have a fund. If you don't have a fund, then you cannot allocate it. Simple. And once you have a fund in your account, then you can allocate that fund. If you see secondary market or futures, options, commodities, currencies, mutual funds, or different funds, for a different options, you can allocate the funds, right? For a different options, you can allocate the funds. And once you allocate the funds across, let's say, different segment options, commodities, currencies, and all, then you can directly buy and sell the security. So it means the first activity would be, first of all, ask investors, again, understand this, ask investors to send the fund in this bank account, and that same bank account you can add, as a payment mode in the broker account. And the same, then in a fund you can means transfer funds from bank account to your trading account, then fund reflect, that fund, it will reflect here, and same fund you can allocate across other accounts. Now if I quickly walk you through how it looks like, we already, discussed with a few candidates, but I'll just quickly walk you through this one. So if you see, let's say if I have a fund here, then I'll, allocate funds or disallocate funds or reduce funds. Let's say this one, just submit it. So if you see, fund balance would be, now reflected under the trading account. So same balance I can allocate now to the future and options. Here if you see, allocated. Now if you see, the same balance which is comes under your future and options, and then you can directly go and select the any any stocks or anything as such, whatever that you want to buy it. If I now take the example, let's say uh, SCI, Shipping Corporation, I'm looking for, let's say, 10 quantities, right? If I want to buy 10 quantities, go to the place order, and here you can select the order. If you select the delivery, but if you see, you need to select everything, exchange, then action, it means buy, sell, select it. And same way fund manager perform the activity. It's not a rocket science, right? Before this, why I chose this, SCI stock. So you might see background story behind it. So that comes under your investment banking. So where we perform the analysis, why we want this particular, why we want to purchase this particular stock. Let's say SCI. Maybe if you ask me, so why you want to buy it? So I would say technically this particular, stock is strong, right? So why this particular stock is strong? So I'll show you quickly. So it means that level of, background you would see, technical, maybe fundamental, or this particular stock is at, at a good level or good price. So you might see that, or maybe let's say there is a news behind it and it's a public enterprises, government enterprises. It means, so you might see in upcoming time, good momentum as well in price. So that level of, background work you may see, as I said. So now if you see, if I just, check quickly, monthly or maybe weekly, so what I can see, like this particular stock, it was reached to the 77. And if you see, in the from in the August to September, within a 2 to 3 weeks of time span, just see the movement, 100 to 160. It means almost 60% return this particular stock already delivered, and we are expecting around 70 to 80% return or more, 50% return that you can say in upcoming time. Why? The reason is, so there are a number of things which you would see, or maybe this particular stock can reach to the 300 or 400 level in next 2 to 3 months time span. So it's a probability. So you might see that level of framework in the back end before taking the investment decision. But if you, let's say, if you've decided to buy it, then it's just, as I said, it's a 1 minute activity, not even 1 minute. It's a 30-second activity. Just go select the quantity, check the fund, add the fund, whatever fund that you have received, and just quickly buy it. Simple. If you ask me from a fundamental perspective, so there are different sides. The same way, your fund manager also, review it in the same way. It's not something, so it means fund manager, they will have something different approach and all. No, maybe they can hire dedicated institutions where that institutions provide research to them, right? So now if I take example, let's say SCI, same stock, Shipping Corporation of India. If you see strong performer, this particular uh, even platform is suggesting that it is under a strong performer category. Valuation, it means it's a reasonable valuation that I can see, right? Then apart from that, other parameters, if you see price to book, which is low in industry, then market capitalization 6,000, operating revenue around 1,200 crore, right? Then let's see the holding as well. Holding, it means, or if you want to check the price and earning, so that becomes your fundamental. So before investing, you can check that, right? Earning or price to book, dividends, right? So all factors that you can check it. Then after you can take the investment decisions. Most of the analysts also, they are suggesting we should hold it because the revenue growth and profit, everything, if you see, net profit they have declared 147 crore. So it's mean it is profitable business, right? See the highlights and all everything, and then after you can take the decision. But once you made a decision and everything, where let's say as a fund manager you want to buy this particular stock, check this holding or pattern. If you see this FYI, so it means here you would see the the hedge funds or different funds where they invested. And as I said, the president of India, so it means this particular uh, this is a government sponsored company, so government is holding around 60% stake in this particular company. And then after your public and then LIC of India and other companies come into picture. And who are those? If you want to see this promoters, it means president of India is holdings 63%. Mutual funds, I don't see that, the portion is very significant, but public is holding around 26, and then other institutions. And if I see the hedge funds, they are also holding around 2.89% holding in this particular company. So on the basis of this, I can take the investment decisions, okay? And here, see this LLP, it means private equity firms or different firms. They purchase in big numbers, bulk deals. See this within a day, that particular institution. If you see the price and everything, how they work at big institutions also. On the same 8th of September, 8th of September. So this particular institution means those are Indian firms. LLP means limited liability partnership. You can say like it's like a private equity firm. They have purchased securities at 156, sorry, 156.25. Right? It seems like normal, a flash trade, or the quickly they have purchased and sell it. So that kind of. So quantity was 3 lakh, not 3 lakh, 32 lakhs 35. So just for a 5 paisa they have purchased it. Just for a 5 paisa they have purchased security and even sold it. So if I just calculate with the 32 lakhs how much amount that they have gained, 32 lakhs 35,447 into 0.05 means it's a paisa. So around 1,61,000 profit they have made within a flash. So this is how your fund managers, they quickly find opportunity, purchase securities, and they execute it. And same details that you would receive for a booking, where you will have to book for a purchase as well as sell. and see, ensure that all quantity it should be, if you have purchased be recorded this particular trade, so make sure all quantities that you have sold out. But price again matter a lot, because difference, if you see the difference, that directly affect on profit and loss, means the difference of buy and sell that directly affect on your profit and loss, directly affect it, directly affect on profit and loss. It means that affects on your net assets value of the fund as well, where we record it under PNL. PNL directly affect on your net assets value of a fund. Same for other in examples. If you see other deals, I don't see the data for other deals. Let me check it if there are any. Okay, so in that particular stock I don't see much, but you might see that same sort of deals with the others as well. And as I said, means after your fundamental and technical research you can take the investment decisions. But once you take the investment decisions, for you it's just one this particular or tab which you can see, where you need to update the quantity or the details, how much quantity that you want to buy, select the buy or sell, and then send this order. So once you send this order, see this information, we refer it. Now, as we discussed, right, broker is providing you few information. That information we actually book it in the system. One is settlement number, another one is your trade date, right? So it means on which day where you can your security will get executed. Trade date, settlement date, if you see, right, this particular trade it will settle on Monday, so as per this data. So now we have a T+1 settlement cycle. Fund pay in date, so it means when this particular security or the fund will receive on this particular security, and fund payout, not fund but stock payout date. So if you see fund payout and fund stock out for a delivery, or let's say that will be in your demat account on same date. So check this information, because same information which is needed, right? And once you check, then you can initiate your order process with the order. See this. Now at the moment I don't have a fund, so I won't be able to buy this new securities. But this is how you can place the trades. And once you place the trades, you can check the details in your order summary. You can check this here. See this. Buy, sell, 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 buy, sell, buy, sell. So you can check that information. And for you, so the important is stock name, as I said, trade date, type, then price, order price. It means it is your price. So that price you can compare with the last trade. It means it's a market price, right? Order price and market price. Sometime you would see change in that price as well. So in this particular case, we have a change. But in most of the cases, there won't be any change between trade price and order price. If you see any change, you can communicate with the broker as well and ask them why they have executed trade with a different price. So might be you would see where broker plays the trades with the incorrect price, because I have sent 19.30, but broker may booked trades with a different price. And if you see such a discrepancies, if you see middle office team take care of it. It's their responsibility, where they check the broker statement and perform the reconciliations to see there shouldn't be any discrepancy as such in the order price and trade price. Same for quantities as well. So sometime you would say change in quantities. So executed quantity means traded quantity, which is something different, and order quantity, if you see, that would be something different. So in that case also your middle office team job come into picture, where they perform reconciliations with that particular trades. Because the point here is See, I'm dealing in lakhs, I'm dealing in crores. If I'm dealing in crores, it means one penny also that affect. As I said, we discussed here with this particular example. So there was only difference of 5 paisa. But 5 paisa value, if you see 1,61,000. And what if, let's say, our currency is dollar, and just think about it, then value would be around $1,61,000. So it means even 5 paisa also can change the story of your trade. And that's what your role come into picture, to verify it, to say it. There shouldn't be any discrepancy as such. And same data, as I said, your trade processing means back office team also refer it. So they refer, so they download the statement in Excel, they download, so you can download it, and then you can book the same data in your accounting records. Say this. If it is a cancel, you can see the status of cancel trade as well. Then you can update as a cancel. So you can change the status. So executed, it means it's a new one. If you see cancel, then you can change the status of cancel. So it means same trade that you have sell it and again cancel it. But make sure there shouldn't be any difference in price and quantity if you cancel it. So what is the meaning of that? Initially you send the request and then later on you cancel it out, right? So you don't need to worry about that projection. But if there is a difference in price, that will create a discrepancy or a difference, right? So in that way, see, for you as a trade processing team, you will have to work on this sheet only. That's it. Your job is your job is to verify the orders or trades and book it into the system. You can download the records for, let's say, 1 year. So you would see thousands of transactions that you need to book. Say this. So you will have to create a repository, right? Create a data in the internal system. And if you don't create it, then it would be difficult to track each and everything. And that's what it is a mandate us to, this particular books need to maintain for each and every funds. If you don't maintain it, then you won't be able to calculate anything as such. See this. Broker maintain trade book, and even fund also means, see, your fund accounting or trade processing job is to replicate the broker details in your internal accounting system. That's it. Whatever transaction that you see, that should exactly match with your internal accounting system. So this is your trade book and this is your order book. We perform reconciliation between order book as well as trade book as well. So it means how much quantity that we have, send the orders, and how much quantity that they traded or that broker placed the trades for. So you can compare with these two accounts as well. So this is also important to understand it, right? And as I said, on trade date, your security would be on trade account. So it means here you can see that, quantity. Here you can see that particular quantity, but same quantity that you can check it on your demat account as well. So if you see same transactions that you can see it on demat account as well, but one difference that you can check it here. So if you see total value of this portfolio is around 3 lakhs. Where is that? 3 lakhs. But if you go and check it on demat account, we have only 1 lakhs. What about 2 lakhs? So it means few positions, with a few, few, uh, let's say transaction or quantities, we have just position. We haven't purchased them. We have just position. We have paid margin. If you see, I have paid 35,000 initial margin, and still 1,29,000 is payable. So it means that amount I'll have to pay to purchase that security. But now broker funded that amount. So 1,29,000 broker funded it, and that's what I have hold the security in my account. So I have just means position in this particular securities, not the ownership, right? And if I want the ownership, then I'll have to pay remaining amount, and that's what you are not able to check that amount in quantities in my demat account. But again, one more important point here, if you see, I told that if let's say to check the security status is available or not. Now, if you see, most of the quantities are under allocated category. If you see, this one is also comes under your allocated category, allocated category. See this, allocated category, allocated one, allocated one, allocated one. See this. But with this particular alloc industries, this particular security is not categorized as allocated one. So it means this is categorized in different way. What could be the potential reason and why the security is under, let's say, pledge? So if you see, if you apply the logic, this particular security, I cannot sell it. If I even try to sell it, see this. What happened? Let's say 3,000 market price. If I try to sell, yeah, I'm looking for a sell. See this, insufficient stock allocated in demat account. The allocated quantity or cancel pending sell trades if you see any. And if you see, if you have, let's say, any pending trade as a cancel one, still you won't be able to sell it out. Same error that you would see in your internal accounting system as well. So that you need to ensure, means previous records of that particular security, it should be clean. And same logic you can apply here. So this particular security is not available. And still, if fund manager send the order to the broker, if you see any order as such here, so in first place, your system will not accept the order. But as I said, fund manager will have a special access because they are fund managers. So they can send the order. They can send the order. It means they can send the order and broker it, even confirm it. But later on, what if at the time of settlement, the story is different? At the time of settlement, you got to know you're working as a middle office executive, and you got to know, oh God, that security is not available. So it means fund manager plays that securities, and this is the violation of your trade agreement. And this will lead to the penalty. This will lead to the failed trade. This will lead to the reputational loss even. And for that matter, then you will have to arrange that security if the front counterparty. So it means, let's say, BlackRock or different ones, if they doesn't agree with your, or let's say they want that security, right? You sold it, then they want it. So it means it will have to participate in your that auction market, or different things to ensure that security is available and all. So that's how your system ecosystem works out. You can check the status of securities. If you see any obligation as such, then you cannot sell that security, or even you cannot buy it if you see any obligation. So it's kind of, let's say, there is a plot available in the Pune city. When you try to purchase it, then you got to know someone already purchased that plot, right? Someone already purchased that plot, but broker is trying to sell the same plot to you as well. Will you be able to buy? No, because if you try to buy it, ultimately you will get cheated or fraud by that broker. Why? The reason is other counterpart will file petition or case against you in court. So this is how system works, right? So you should try to understand that aspect also. So it means, what is the difference between the land and this one? So there is a difference is only about digital, documents. Shares are in digital form, and that property is in physical form. That's it. But same logic you can apply it here as well. If you see that particular, let's say someone is already taken loan on that particular property. Let's say I'm the owner. So think about it. I'm the owner of property. I have a property at prime location. So this is my land. Land with which is in Pune. But already I have taken loan of 1,50,000 borrowed money, right? From, let's say, Yes Bank. And now the question is about, let's say, there is one more guy who is interested in this particular property. Let's say Mr. Y. Y want this property. Y is ready to purchase this particular security. Then, as a owner, what I'll do, I'll prepare docs, fake docs, and I'll sell it out that property to Mr. X or Mr. Y, whatever it is, through fake documents. And when Mr. Y will try to establish, let's say, ownership on this particular land, then that Mr. realize it, bank is holding the rights of this particular property. So how this is possible? When this guy, let's say X, is taken loan on this particular property, so it means on that same date, this person plays that land to the bank. So now when you say please, it means so this particular bank is holding rights on this particular land, and laws that doesn't support or allow to Mr. Y. The reason is because this is the first person who have lend money to the borrower and holding the ownership right on this particular land. So it means, in short, if you see any obligation on any property, cannot transfer that property to anyone. Same logic you can apply it here as well. If you see any obligation as such, then you cannot sell this particular securities until you get out of this obligation. Once you get out of this obligation, then you can definitely take that particular security in your control, and then you can sell it out. That happened, and this will lead to the failed trade. Same logic you can apply it here. That trade also, your land deal also, it will again fail due to the obligation, and your stock deal also, it will fail if you let's say forgot to check the status of that particular securities and all. So this is how you can relate with your terms. All right. And same data that you can process it in your books of account. So one more thing that I would like to quickly walk you through, how trade settlement cycle works. If you have that question, just click on any of the securities. Let's say this one. Mm. Valuation, entity, delivery, quantity, value for charges, ABC. See, you can check all this information. Broker price, total quantity. Means broker maintain the details for everything. Stock information, trade date, settlement number. See this, I was talking about this number, this one. Because buyer and seller both, they carry same settlement number, and that's what they reach out to each other. Otherwise, why they'll send email, right? Which is not allowed. And apart from this, what I was talking about. Yep. See this. Trade date, action, stock price, quantity, total amount, trade reference, exchange, order number, exchange. Then if you see your settlement number, same information. Now in this case, I am a seller. Buyer also carries same information, and that's what they reach out to each other. Sometime you would see one-on-one match. So it means as a sailor, let's say I'm selling 31 quantities. So you might see single, buyer. Sometime there would be multiple buyer as well. Then I'll have to reach out to the multiple buyers. Let's say my 31 quantity purchased by 31, other buyers. Then I'll have to reach out to the 31 buyers as a middle office team. Why? Because this is a split trade, right? Multilateral trade. Multilateral, it means against one trades. So that particular, let's say the date, no one was available to buy that security on, let's say, on a stock exchange with that particular price at the same time, because market automated system that works with timing. At a time, if the buyer is not available with that particular quantity, then ultimately, so system will look for a multiple matching, and that's how trade will get executed. And your job is like to check and cross verify that information. Then you will have to reach out to the multiple, means 31 people, to ensure that they have, enough information about it or funding availability and all. And then accordingly, then you can execute your trades. And if I now talk about little bit, technical things, how your trade settlement cycle works and all, just, go through it. This information is very insightful. I have a fancy PPT as well, but I don't believe on that fancy things. I believe on, practical, setup which you can check, because this broker side, same, setup you can see under fund as well, where fund managers, they manage their business on fund accounting platform. Broker system is also accounting platform at a broker level. So that maybe you guys are not aware about it, but this platform is also accounting platform. Broker maintain the record keeping for buyer and seller. Simple. So if you see, I'm a seller, right? As on 15, what will happen in my portfolio or in my account? My portfolio, that if you see on 16th of September, it will be updated. Means my portfolio broker will update on 16th of September. Then contract note, it will be generated on again 16th of September. But if you see, shares will be blocked or debited on 15th of September only. Securities, it will be debited from the 15th of September. If you see trade date and debit date, if you see same, but I'll receive fund, on 18th of September. So it means fund will receive on 18th of September. So whatever fund that if you see, that fund will receive my bank account on 16th of September. Sorry, 18th of September. Here, if you see, this broker will follow the exact T+1 rule. So fund will receive as a seller, fund will receive on 18th of September in my bank account. Again, check the same cycle for buyer also. What will happen in the buyer book? Buyer will check again portfolio. It will update it on 16th of September. Contract note buyer can access on 16th of September, and then demat account. So the shares will be credited in your demat account. So it means buyer's demat account. See this equation you can interlink with each other. So it means buyer will receive securities on 18th of September, and same with this as well, where demat account shares, means from the seller's account, it will be blocked on 15th of September, and fund will be debited from the buyer's account on same date, 15th of September. So it means this particular, these two things, broker take in control. Take in control. So it means what ifs are now you can link this particular things with your fund accounting stuff. As a fund accounting team, how can I record this, sir? Accounting entry. How can I record this? If you have again, there are two things: trade date accounting and settlement. I don't want to discuss that now. I'll discuss that in the next session. Trade date and settlement date. So we have a trade date and settlement date basis accounting system. But if you see, if you have a trade date, then on trade date, you will have to record accounting entry for this one. And now if you see, fund will receive in your bank account on 18th of September. So on 18th of September, you can apply the settlement date basis accounting treatments, where actually you can apply the cash treatment on settlement date, and on trade date you can only record purchase and sell information. So it means on trade date you can record credit entry. Credit entry, it means payable and receivable, depends on buyer and seller side. Entry that you can prepare on, let's say, trade date, and rest on settlement date you can apply the accounting entry for cash projection. So this is how you can apply the accounting treatment as an accountant or fund accountant. But if you see, before preparing accounting entry in the books of account, you will have to check all this information, broker statement, everything, means everything. You can attach broker statement, you can verify it, check everything, and then you can publish your net assets value of a fund, or you can post the accounting entries in the books of fund. So we'll prepare the accounting entries in the books of fund in our next session as per the IFRS or GAAP. See how that IFRS or GAAP logic that you can apply, how it works. But this is how your trade processing works in your books of fund, or maybe at a broker level, or investment banking level as well. All right, so I'm done now. You can ask your questions, whatever questions that you guys. Now it's your time to ask questions.
Sure, I just have one clarification I just need. So here, whatever we see, right, like for the trade setup, another thing, right, exactly the same which will be set up in the accounting systems and cash systems.
Yeah, same setup. We just replicate it. It's a data entry work. You can directly, means same broker data with the same logic. You can also update in your accounting system. If you see, broker also provide the same facility. As I said, it's a broker's uh, accounting system. You can download your reports, you can download anything, what means whatever that you want, you can download it. Let's say if you want to download PNL, you can download the PNL. See this. If you want, let's say, means if you want anything as such, broker will provide that to you. So same way, why we want to record that, why we want to record the data in the internal accounting system. Just put a logic. We want the that particular uh, let's say data to prepare the financial reports, or maybe let's say your cash flows, or other information and all. Correct. But broker will also
Yeah.
provide same information. Say this, same information that you would say. The name change would be like, here you would see fund name, then XYZ series or class name, fund manager name, that's it. And then your trading code or number, or fund manager details. But fund also maintain the same details: settlement number, exchange order number, FSC quantity, IZ, security name, buy, sell, quantity, gross rate, broker amount, and everything, means everything. Bro, see this. Same data we maintain it. And if you see payable and receivable, it means on the basis of payable and receivable, we create the that payable and receivable in the books of fund as well. So same means we replicate broker account. Simple. We replicate broker account and your demat account. And third account would be your cash account.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, I got it.
It's just matter like, you know, if you see in India, we have a tally, right? So where we use tally to record the transaction, business transaction in the books of that business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that fund managers, they have replaced tally with the Geneva, or let's say other applications like Aladdin and all. That's it.
Which is maintained by themselves. That's all.
Yeah, so
That is
that
for their internal purpose.
exactly. But if you see, if I even ask question like, How you record the transaction in the books of tally? Then you refer the bank statement, you refer the invoice, goods invoice, or purchase or sales details. So in a security
Correct.
market, broker provide that buy and sell details. So you will have to refer the same then. So for us, buy and sell details, it means this information. And in normal business, you might see, receipt or retail that, the different, businesses, they provide receipt or contract note to you. So you can refer that and then you can create the records it in the books of fund. But in a security market, as I said, we don't have a physical securities movement, and also it means you can check the quantity numbers and you can play around it.
Okay. Yeah.